He wanted this to ruin my day. He wanted this to ruin my faith. He wanted this to crush my spirit.
God, you call me by my name. The love you give me, I just can't deny. Yeah. No longer blinded, I can see.
Hey y'all, hey, it is me, KaRena Lee, and I am back at it again with another video. If you're new to my channel, hi, my name is KaRena. If you're not new, welcome back. Thank you so much for supporting. In today's video, I just wanted to sit down with you guys and talk to you guys about something that happened to me today. So in so many words, this video is basically a testimony about tested faith. So if that's something that you're interested in, definitely keep watching. Do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and let's get into it. So today I was woken up to my mom coming in my room, and she said, "KaRena, I have some bad news." Now let me give you guys backstory so that this story can all come together. And it's gonna start yesterday. So yesterday I didn't have like a hard day, but I think I would say I had a little bit of a hard night. This year was really important for me to prioritize talking, like my relationship with God was like the most important thing to me. So the first thing that I did this year, I have not made a vision board. I haven't made a prayer board, and I kind of have made a vision board because what I did was I made a custom prayer journal. And I'm gonna make a reel so you guys can kind of see it, but basically it's literally pictures that I chose on the front, pictures on the back, and it's essentially like what I want for myself, what I'm asking God for, what I'm believing in God for, but I got a custom journal made. And so I say that because it was really important to me that I started to just talk to God more, and I like to pray to God and write it down. Sometimes I talk to him all the time, but sometimes I like to write it down because I want to go back and be able to look at it and see how our conversations went and like what has happened, what has transpired. And honestly, I'm so grateful that I did because this is happening at this very moment. So basically yesterday, it was super late at night too, and I wasn't even gonna do it. And I was like, you need to write in your prayer journal, like you need to talk to God. Like you said this was important to you. This is something that you need to do. So I decided yesterday to do what I said I was gonna do, and I wrote in my prayer journal, and I talked to God about how I felt defeated, how I felt like I wasn't good enough. I felt like I wasn't keeping my word. I felt like I wasn't showing up as my best self. And I feel like when I don't show up as my best self, I'm holding myself back from what God has for me. I feel like God is trying to work on me, but he can't because I'm not working with him, right? So I have a daily affirmation that I say to myself. And yesterday was the first time that I looked myself in the mirror, I said my affirmation, and I cried because I felt like I was lying. I felt like a fraud. I felt like a liar. And that really just broke my heart. It broke me. And that's kind of what led me to feeling so defeated, is because I felt like my affirmation wasn't even true. Like I felt like I was just saying words and like I wasn't following through. So yeah, essentially yesterday night, I ended my night literally talking to God. Legitimately, y'all, I fell asleep accidentally. And this is the last thing that I said. And again, I know the prayer is supposed to be private and it's supposed to be personal, but I really feel like some of the conversations that I have with God, I really just feel like they need to be shared. Like I just want people to know, like, I just want people to be encouraged. You know what I mean? I really just want people to be encouraged. But I literally said, I'm really happy I actually spent this time talking to you today. I'm thankful I was a woman of my word with this because it's been very therapeutic, just writing to you in silence. Because another thing I didn't listen to any music, no lo-fi, no background instrumental, no jazz, nothing. It was straight silence up in here. And it was so peaceful. It was so peaceful to just sit and just write and just talk to God. It brought me so much comfort and so much joy and just so much peace, right? That's how my night ended. Now, also, let me just say that I listened to a podcast earlier, a sermon podcast, no, whatever. I listened to something earlier, and he said that we should write down 10 things that were necessary adjustments on our life, right? And I'm just prefacing this because I want to say that on my list of 10 things, some things that I said were that always start my morning with you. So I told God, I always want to start my morning with you. I said, I want to wake up early. I said before 7:30 a.m. daily, like before 7:30 a.m. And I'll just leave it at that, because now let's get into what happened today. Today, and stick with me when I'm saying this, today around 7 a.m., I just said I wanted to be up by 7:30. Today around 7 a.m., my mom came in my room and she said, KaRena, I have some bad news for you. Instantly, I was up, like looking like, I got up, but as I was getting up, I said, that's a horrible way to wake somebody up. And then I'm looking at her, I'm trying to see, I'm like, did somebody die? Like, what's going on? Like, what's happening? My mom goes, somebody broke into your car, busted your window. Immediately, I'm like in tears, like I'm starting to cry. My mom said, don't cry. Look at the bright side. The car is still here. It looks like nothing was stolen. But honestly, y'all, as she's saying this, it means nothing to me. You just told me that my dang on car window has been busted into. And yesterday night, before I did my prayer journal, before I felt at peace, I was literally budgeting. I was trying to do my budget. It was stressful, but that's not the point. I was budgeting and I already felt like I don't have enough to do what I want to do this year, to put it plain, because I don't need y'all too much of my business. But I already felt like I didn't have enough, right? And I wake up the next morning, you tell me somebody busted my window in. So my mom was talking about see the bright side, which obviously nobody wants to hear when you just told me something negative. I'm not looking at no bright sides of nothing. Okay? So I'm like this is how I wake up, y'all. I wake up to my mom literally coming to tell me I have bad news, only for her to tell me somebody busted in your car window. So I get up, I put on some clothes, I go outside, and I kind of just do a quick look to see if anything looks like it's been taken. My car is literally right outside of my window. Like, I could see my car if I open up these windows. So I didn't hear no alarm. Not that I know of. I went to bed peaceful. Like, I don't remember hearing no alarm. So I go out, I look to see if there's anything in there or not in there. I guess I could look to see if there's anything that's gone, blah, blah, blah. I do it quickly. I come back in. It doesn't look like anything's broken. I come back in. I get in the shower, right? So the first thing that I did was, this song was a song that I was listening to yesterday, so it was on my mind. Okay, so the first thing that I did was I listened to this song called Look at God by KaRena Hawthorne. It's trending on TikTok, but for those of you who don't know, I am gonna play a little bit of it because I've listened to this song the entire day. The entire day I've been listening to this song, and it's really just helped me through the day. Okay, so listen. Sitting here counting my blessings. Ooh, it hits me again. She said, sitting here counting my blessings. Ain't no need for stressing in my life. My enemies, they might form weapons. Ooh, my goodness. Yeah, but I know I'm protected by the blood, protected by the love of God. Then she says, grace and mercy, all his favor, keeps taking me higher, just like skyscrapers. And every time I turn around, you keep blessing me, blessing me. And then she said, and then she goes, so she said, look at God, he's making a way. Look at God every day. Look at God, I can't take no credit. He's the one who did it. Look at God. And so it's crazy because a part of me was like, yeah, I can't take no credit. Like, I sure didn't bust out my own window. Like, so I feel like, here's my first thing. The enemy wanted me to be upset about this situation. My mom was talking about see the bright side, and baby, I wasn't seeing nothing bright. It was looking real dark over here. You feel what I'm saying to you? And the enemy wanted me to stay in that. The enemy wanted me to be upset. He wanted this to ruin my day. He wanted this to ruin my faith. He wanted this to crush my spirit. But what did I do? I turned to God. Initially I responded as only human would do. I responded upset, right? Like, I'm like, this is the first thing I'm hearing in the morning. Like, what? You said what? You said what's going on? So initially I'm not happy and I'm not going for it. But when I came back in the house, I said, and this song was on my mind, nothing but the Holy Spirit. Like, this song was on my mind. And so I'm like, let me play this song. And I play this song, and I'm a words person. So I listen to these words and I'm like, I do have things to be grateful for. I do have reasons to be okay. Like, I do have reasons to be thankful, right? So I listen to this song and I put it on repeat. I get in the shower, I'm talking to God, and I'm like, I'm thankful the car's still here. I'm thankful I can afford to get it fixed. I'm thankful that I'm not at work today. I'm thankful that I didn't have to go to work today. I'm thankful, God, that I'm alive. Like, there are things to be thankful for, even when life is upsetting, even when circumstances don't look promising. Actually, y'all, I'm sorry. Before I even went outside to look at my car, I read my verse of the day. I said I'm gonna start my morning with God. This is not a great way to start my morning. Like, this is not a great way to be woken up, but let me look at my verse of the day. I looked at my verse of the day and I was like, this is not a coincidence at all. The verse of the day is Psalms 46:1, which says, God is our refuge and strength, an ever-present help in trouble. Really? This the verse of the day? For real? God is our refuge and strength, an ever-present help in trouble. I said, that's ironic. I didn't even think too deep into it. I was just like, that's not, like, come on, like, I see what you're doing. But I was still, like, feeling human emotions of, like, you know what I mean? So I read it, I go outside, blah, blah, I get in the shower, I come back, and then I do my actual verse of the day. I do my whole breakdown. If you're interested in seeing how I do how you can spend time with God in the morning, I will link the video above. That's my very last video that I posted about how you can spend time with God daily. But my thoughts from today were, God is my safety. Him, his love, his power, his grace, his mercy, his protection. He is my safe haven. I said, God's strength is my strength. When I can't, God can. When I can't, God can. When you can't, God can. When you're weak, God's strong. And that's another thing I said. I said, when I feel defeated, I can always lean on the man who never grows tired or weary and increases the power of the weak. That's Isaiah 40. 28-29, in case you're wondering. But here's the thing that I didn't even notice until right now. I said, when I feel defeated. I didn't even click that I said I felt defeated last night at this moment. I didn't even click that yet. Okay, but God did. Okay, so then I said, God promised he'd never leave us. God is present even when it doesn't feel like it. God is working even when it doesn't look like it. I said, thank you, God. Now, I need y'all to stick with me because I'm about to bounce. But the irony in me saying, because God knew. The irony in me saying God is present even when it doesn't feel like it, God is present even when it doesn't look like it, is the fact that yesterday I literally posted a TikTok, you guys, and that was on yesterday's verse of the day, which was... Yesterday's verse of the day was Isaiah 41:10. It says, so do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. And after doing that verse of the day, I felt so led to post a video about it. If you guys are interested, you should definitely follow me on TikTok, because a lot of times, well, not a lot, but I'm starting to do shorter breakdowns of the verse of the days and what I feel like God is saying to me, and I feel like God wants other people to hear. So I posted a video yesterday literally about the verse of the day, and this is what it says. This is what I said. He is not a worldly father. Not to say your daddy didn't show up for you. That's not what we're talking about. Eden is gone. We live on earth now. You feel what I'm saying to you? Like, in those times, it can feel like, God, where are you now? Believe that God is working when you can't see him working. Just because you don't see things happening doesn't mean that they're not. There is safety in consistency. There is security in consistency. And today's verse of the day is Isaiah 41:10. And it says, do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. I got a lot of takeaways from this, but as I was spending time just reflecting on this, what came to me was that sometimes it can be hard to sit and listen to God remind us of who he is and what he can and has done and how he's always present. Like, in times of struggle, in times of need, in times of sorrow, when you're depressed, when you're sad, when you're heartbroken, when you feel like you have no other options and no place else to go, it can be easier said than done to sit and hear God, or just hear people say, like, remember who God is, remember what God can do. Because as believers, we know that. We know that God can do all things. We know that God is omnipresent. We know that God is the same yesterday, today, and tomorrow. We know these things, but it can be very hard to sit and just listen. Like, I already know that. Basically, like, I need something else. Like, I already know that. I don't want to hear that. It's hard to tap into the spiritual concept of these things when in the physical, you're in it. You're sitting in the pain. You're sitting in the worry. You're sitting in the stress. You're sitting in the struggle. Like, it's like, okay, and to be quite honest, like, respectfully, God, okay, and like, where are you now? In those times, it can feel like, God, where are you now? Where are you at? And it's important for us to remember he's still there. God never promised us an easy life. He never promised us a blissful life. Like, we lost that. Eden is gone. We live on earth now. You feel what I'm saying to you? Like, that's not, we not living that life no more. Okay, so it's like a how long is this video? This video is 5 minutes and 14 seconds. So if you're interested, go on TikTok and watch the rest, because you know what I'm saying. But anyways, I literally posted this video yesterday, basically telling people it can be hard to tap into the spiritual realm when you're in the physical, when you're sad, when you're hurt, when you're going through it. And basically what I was telling them was, when you're feeling that emotion, I need you to go back to a time where you felt this emotion before and think about how God brought you through. And it seemed like it could have been contradictory, because it's like, it's hard to listen to God tell you who he is. No. But what you're doing is going back to an experience where you felt this and seeing how God brought you through. You're seeing not who, like, it's not God telling you who he is or somebody telling you, oh, who God is or something like that. It's you remembering that he's done it for you before. And the same God who brought you through before is the same God who's going to bring you through again. It's you remembering that he didn't leave you then and he's not going to leave you now. You know what I'm saying? It's you finding security and comfort in consistency. I said there is security in consistency. There's safety in consistency. And that doesn't mean that God is predictable, but it means that he is consistent. So I post this video, blah, blah, blah. And then all this stuff happens to me today, you guys. So I obviously ended my devotional time with prayer. And I just talked to God and I said, yes, I'm going to share my prayer with you guys, but this is my testimony. So I want to make sure that, like, you guys really understand. Like, I said, as I face an unfortunate situation, I am filled with gratitude. My car window is broken. It's a blessing I still have a car. It's a blessing I don't have to work today. It's a blessing I can afford to get it fixed. It's a blessing I'm alive. I'm grateful for where you have me in my faith. I'm grateful you already taught me trials and tribulations are meant to test my faith. I'm proud of myself because I responded to this as a kingdom kid should. I'm grateful I didn't allow the enemy to have my mind, emotions, or actions. I'm grateful I turned to you, God, and I'm thankful I can. Thank you for allowing me to build a relationship with you. Thank you for creating a space where I can come to you with and about anything. I'm so grateful. I'm blessed to do life with you, God. And after I'd said this, I just spent, like, I wrote that down, but then I just spent time talking to God. And I cried, y'all. I busted out into tears. I cried so hard because I was so in shock about the fact that I was so grateful. It was just shocking to me. Like I was wrapping my mind around the fact that my car window, I woke up to being told that my car window was busted into, and I was filled with so much gratitude. I was so like, you know, like that was mind-boggling to me. Like I was so confused because I'm like, but I was happy and I was at peace, and I'm like, what? Like, it just showed me how far God has brought me, and I was so grateful for my faith. I was so grateful for my relationship with God. I was so grateful, and I just seen how God was moving in my life. And this is when I realized that my faith was being tested. This is when I realized it was tested faith. Not when I wrote it, because even here I realized that I said my faith was being tested. But it wasn't until after the fact that I sat there and I said, oh my gosh, like, my faith is being tested. My faith is being tested, and I was so proud of myself because I responded like a kingdom kid. I responded like God would want me to. I felt like God was proud of me, and I was proud of me. I am proud of me because I turned to God at a time where I could have responded in human nature, which I did initially. I'm not saying we're not human. I'm not saying that we're not going to go through things and it's always going to be perfect and we're always going to get it right the first time, because we're not God. We're not going to get it right the first time, which is something that she says in the song. But I was so proud of myself for the fact that I was sitting and I was talking to God, and I was filled with so much gratitude. I found reasons to be thankful, and reasons that this isn't as bad as it seems. And I was just so happy that I didn't let the devil have my emotions. I didn't let the devil let me get out of character. I didn't let the devil ruin my day. You know what I mean? Like, this could have ruined my day. It could have ruined my plans for the year. Like, it's only January 13th. It's only January 13th. And I could have responded so differently, and I didn't. I felt like I responded how I was supposed to. I felt like I passed this test. You know what I mean? Like, I felt like I passed this test. And as I was sitting there and I was talking to God, I was like, I have to share this. I had a whole different video planned to go up tomorrow or today when you guys are saying this. But I said, no, this has to be the one. It's Sunday, and I want to share this because I hope that this inspires someone. I think this is more for me than it is for you guys, but I pray that it helps us both. You know what I mean? Like, when I told God, like, I'm grateful that he already taught me trials and tribulations are meant to test my faith, because I started reading my Bible again at the end of last year, and I came up, like, God taught me basically like that as believers we should be happy about trials and tribulations because it tests our faith. And then it just hit me that yesterday I was telling God I felt defeated. Yesterday I was telling God that I didn't feel good enough. Yesterday I felt like I was a liar. I felt like I was a fraud. I felt like I wasn't showing up as my best self. And it's crazy to me because I just feel like in other instances I would not have sat here and believed. I wouldn't have seen God in it. I just don't feel like I would have seen God in it in this way. I wouldn't have been this optimistic. I wouldn't have been this grateful. I wouldn't have been this much at peace about someone breaking my freaking car door window. But I sat there and I saw God in it. I said, wow, yesterday I told you I felt defeated. Yesterday I told you I didn't feel good enough. And today you showed me that you have brought me so far. You showed me that my faith is my firm foundation, legitimately. You showed me today, and I felt like I passed. I felt like I passed the test, you guys. So yeah, that's the story. That's the situation. That's what occurred. That's how I handled it. And that's my tested faith testimony. If you made it this far in the video, I appreciate you for watching. I pray that this encouraged you. I pray this encouraged you that God is in it with you. That when times are hard, when situations are rough, when emotions are high, when circumstances are unfair or so much less than favorable, that God's still in it. I pray that you take a minute and pause and just ask God to show you what he's trying to teach you. Ask God to show you like why, like what is the reasoning for this. And that doesn't mean that he's always going to give you an answer, because there are just some things in life that we won't get an answer to. But I pray that you just take the time and try and see God in it. And if you can't see him in it, ask him to show you, like, God, show me you're still here. Show me that you're present. I need you. I need you to show me that you're still here. I need you to show up for me right now. I know you're here, but I need you to show up for me. I need you to show me that you're here. I need you to remind me why your strength is made perfect in my weakness. I need you to remind me that you promised me you would never leave me, God. Yeah. I pray that when you're at your lowest, that you just pause and you try and see God in it. Anyways, if you made it this far, like I said, I definitely appreciate you for watching. Definitely check out some of my other videos. You might like those as well. You probably will. If you do, definitely subscribe to my channel. Turn on that bell notification so you're notified every time I post another video. As always, I thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye, guys.